Generation Kill is a band that every metal head should know. And if you haven't heard MKUltra yet, then you are missing something. We'll find out exactly what you're missing when we chat with vocalist Rob Dukes right here on CHRIS Akin Presents. It is CHRIS Akin Presents, and I, of course, am Chris Akin, and today I am presenting one of my favorite vocalists of the heavy metal realm that is out there today. He, of course, he made his mark originally with Exodus, with the two of their greatest releases, the two Atrocity records, and he has been killing it since he left Exodus with Generation Kill. They have a release that's out there called MKUltra, and they're getting ready to go out on tour, and we are going to talk about all that stuff right here on CHRIS Akin Presents with the one, the only Mr. Rob Dukes, who I'm boring to death.
I know, man. It's all right. I had a late night.
All good, man. Well, dude, it's great to talk to you once again, man. And it is, I've been enjoying MKUltra now for a while. It's been out there for a little while, but I think like everything else, the pandemic kind of put the clamps on promoting it and getting out there to share it, no?
Yeah, man. I mean, it took a while to record it, and then, and it just, but it came out. Everyone's liking it. So, it is what it is. I mean, even if, if everything was absolutely normal, it would have just come out anyway. You know what I mean? So.
Right. The only difference is it would have come out and then you would have probably had the opportunities to get out there and share it with people.
Well, yeah, I would have probably. I would have went on tour. I would have been out on the road like the day it came out to make sure. You know what I mean? That's kind of or right around there, and we would have. But it's crazy how tours are all backed up from the last 2 years, so no one touring. So everyone's out right now, and we're going to do the same. We're going to go out till in July and August and go play some shows on the East Coast. Sorry, I'm yawning and stuff. I'm not bored. I was up till 5 in the morning. So,
oh yeah. Nice partying or rehearsing or what were you doing?
No, it's so hot that the day here. It's like 114, 117.
Oh.
I've been working at night rather than in the day.
Okay, so, yeah, makes sense.
I've been sleeping during the day and working at night.
Right on. Makes a ton of sense, man. Well, and that's, like I was saying to you before when we got started, man. I mean, it's 90 plus here in Ohio, but I lived out there in I was at Fort Huachuca when I was in the military, right there by the border. And I know that heat. It's that heat out there is like, don't stand in one place on cement or your shoes will melt type of heat. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very, very hot. Yeah.
What has you out there, man? I mean, what made you move out to there?
The cars. I was living in New York, and the cars out here don't have nearly as much rust as they do on the East Coast, and they're just you can just find nicer cars out here, and I like to restore old cars, so that was my reason for moving out here.
All right, makes sense. Well, dude, let's talk some MKUltra for a minute. The big thing is you worked with Nick Bellmore. What does he bring to the table that you feel like you guys don't bring yourself?
He's got a really killer sense for the drum sounds, and he's just a really he mixed the thing killer, man. I mean, he brought we were working with Zeus for a while, and Zeus got caught up with other stuff. He was doing Rob Zombie, so he had to jump ship, and we needed it done. So he gave us Nick's info, and we reached out to him, and it was perfect, man. He worked his ass off. He started working on it like right away.
Right on.
And it just worked out, So
sure, definitely. Now, one thing, Rob, that I know, and I think a lot of people know, is that there's a long time between Generation Kill records, and I know you did the record with DMC in the middle, but between Generation Kill records, there was a pretty long gap in between there. What was the cause of that? And did you maybe stop doing it full time for a little bit?
I was never doing it full time. I was always, when I left Exodus, even then I was doing it part time.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to juggle life with a job, and just a band and just being an adult.
Right.
So all that stuff, it just took time. And then, we had we changed the bass players and we threw away all the songs that we had written with him. We just, we got rid of them all and started over from scratch. So, we had a bunch of songs written and a bunch of stuff done, and then we decided just to start over. So,
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And obviously with this new release, you worked with a lot of guests, some from your past, some from, I'm assuming from that you just have known over the years. So talk a little bit about bringing the guests into MKUltra.
I mean, at first it was just something, kind of cool. It's like, hey, I really apologize. I was like, hey Gary, do you want to do a fucking lead? He's like, yeah, and then the John Joseph thing started really just because he's one of my favorite singers, and I loved his originality. So I wrote a song basically thinking ahead of time, I'm going to have John sing on this. And I didn't ask him until the song was done. And then once he heard it, he was in. He was like, oh, this is awesome. And so that, and then Chris Poland is just a fucking, absolute phenom genius guitar player. So
Sure.
the opportunity to have him play on one of my songs was just, I was like, I mean, I reached out not knowing what his answer was going to be. I've only met him a few times. I would say we're friends. I'd say, we're acquaintances. We've met a few times. I'm a fan of his playing. And he played perfect on the song. I sent him the track and he loved it. And, within a couple days sent me back what he did. And, it was, awesome. So.
Right on. Well, and the track is the tune "Evil Eye," which is the current single that's out there right now. Why don't we do this? Why don't we give the people a taste of this one, and then we'll come back and talk more with you about a lot of the other things, including the tour that you're getting ready to go on. How's that sound?
Sounds good, man.
All right, well, let's check it out. This is a little bit of "Evil Eye." It is Generation Kill right here on Chris Akin Presents. All right, that was Evil Eye, brand new stuff from Generation Kill from the MKUltra release, which is out there pretty much anywhere that you would look to hear it, any of the streaming platforms and YouTube and whatever. But don't be cheap. Buy it, for God's sakes. Go. Where should we send people, man, to go and actually buy a physical copy of this thing?
If you want a physical, you can go to Generation Kill Band or generationkill.band and on our website, and we have them for sale on there. Or you can go to
somewhere.
The fuck is the name of it?
Was it Bandcamp or one of those? Or
no, man, it's fucking the name of the record company that put it out. This small label. I don't remember it. I'm a fucking idiot, man. What is the name of that? I don't know. I don't remember. If you go to Generation Kill.band and go to our website, every link you'll need is in there.
All right, very good. Yeah. Definitely. Well, Rob, one of the things that's new recently is that you've dipped your toe into the podcasting waters yourself. Yeah. How has that been going, and what led you to start doing that?
It was I forget. I think my friend Bobby Kelly told me to start doing it. He's like, you should start interviewing musicians. You're kind of funny, and you have you have some great stories, and you've met a lot of people along the way. So go ahead and start doing it. So, bought a couple cameras and bought a computer and started working in microphones and getting all the shit together to do it. And that's just what I did. It's been fun, man. It's been fun having interesting conversations. It led me to step away from musicians, and I interviewed, a couple comedians, and then Tom O'Neill, the writer, who I've become friends with, yesterday I did, which was cool, is I did Josh Barnett. He's an MMA fighter. He was a heavyweight fighter in the MMA to ever win, anyway. And me and Josh are friends, so we were talking about his life and how he became to what he did, and it's just talking with interesting people and having interesting conversations.
Right on, man. Well, one thing with podcasting, and I know this firsthand because I like you like to say whatever the fuck I think, and and I really don't care what the effect is on anybody, and I know you're exactly like that. But you're in an active band where that could actually hurt you a little bit. So do you even pay any attention to that, or you just roll and do what you do and not worry about people being offended?
I don't care. Yeah. If you, I've never been offended by anything a comedian has ever said or a musician has ever said. What offends me is the hypocrisy of people and in the religious community I'm offended that there are just homeless people at all. Like they don't if they wanted to clean that up and clear it up, they could, and they just don't want it because there's no money in it. You know what I mean? And in the 80s when they shut down all the mental institutions and they let those people out into the streets with nowhere to go and nothing to do, what did they think was going to happen? If they wanted to clear up the problem, they could. They just don't want to, and that is offensive.
Yeah.
Nothing a comedian says. He says the word cunt or fucking. I mean, I could give a fuck about any of that, So I don't really care. You know why? Because there's a million podcasts out there, and if you don't like it, just watch another one.
Yeah. So, no, I agree. I agree. I have to think with the homelessness thing, some of that has to weigh on you because of what's going on in your old home. In New York, from everything I hear, is just a disaster. Like it's for the first time since the 80s, it's like dangerous on the streets again.
It's a mess, man. New York is a mess. LA is a mess. And, and these are the cultural hubs of the universe, man. This is where those two places where all that shit happens. That's where it all happens, it's tragic. It's tragic that this experiment of democracy is not working out the way they wanted it to.
Yeah, no, you're right, man, and even the thing with the money thing, as far as fixing it, how much money do we ship out other places before we take care of our own? That's what drives me the most nuts. Is I get that there's problems, but when I see like whatever it was 2 years ago or a year ago or whatever, when they're shipping, pallets of money to Iran or whatever, and I'm like, wait a minute, we got homeless problems here. We got, LA is a tent community, for God's sakes.
Let's not conflate two issues. It was their money. We owed it to them. It was their money. True. So it was not conflate two issues. I mean, I don't want to go crazy political, but I mean that, the military industrial complex, if they had they could take a section of that and not give, the $7 trillion they give to it. And if they wanted to, they could take the money and they could take a military mobile units and they could fucking make it all. They could fix it. They could fix it. There is a fucking way, and they don't want to. So I'm very centrist in my ideas. I think I'd like to side on the stand of reason,
Right.
and I'm not too left and I'm not too right. I think they're both goofy as fuck. I think they're both ridiculous.
With you there.
And if you look at anything in you know, it's kind of like you know, becomes like this. You're on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And like I root for the New York Rangers, man, and I don't root for any other fucking team. I could give a fuck about any other team.
Right.
And there's no way you could convince me to root for another team or be on another team or like another team. That's just my team. And I think when politics gets that way, it just becomes insanity because, you know, not every ideal is great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They have some really bad ideas on both sides, and so I just try to be the voice of reason. That's all. You know,
right on.
I understand. I'm smart enough to understand that if they really wanted to fix the problem, they could.
You're right. Yeah, it's funny because I dabble in politics from here and there, and I'm like you. I'm like an issues guy. I'm pro guns and pro abortion, whatever that makes me. You know, you know, what I really don't understand is how you pick a politician and say, well, that's my guy. You know, I'm 53 years old, and every single president except Carter could be thrown in jail for treason if you actually followed the letter of the law since I was born, and that's Johnson era. And it's just, how do you pick one of these guys and say, okay, well, that's my guy? That, you know, how do you not pick the issues and instead pick the guy? That's always crazy to me.
Yeah. And Carter was a really left Democrat.
Yeah.
Who just wanted to do the right thing. He ended up being a really good guy in life, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
We got that one wrong.
Yeah. Bad president, good guy. And maybe not even bad president, just because he was so apolitical. You know, he didn't move either side of the needle, and it ended up screwing him in the end. But
I'm reading this book right now, How Propaganda Works. And,
right.
It's all propaganda, dude. Like, you'd be surprised how many ideas that I had. I realized I was lied to because propaganda made me believe it, and I was like, oh fuck, man, fuck.
Yeah.
So anyway.
No, I get it, dude. As somebody that went to war and now looks back at him like, oh boy, you know, it's like, woof, I don't know. I'm with you, man. I'm more with you than you think I am. I really am. Well, Rob, let's get away from politics here. Let's get back to music, because that's what people really want to hear. You obviously have this killer tour coming up with Dead by Wednesday. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, man. Opus, the drummer Christian, he hit me up and said, "Hey, man, we want to do this run down the East Coast. You guys want to do it with us?" And we said, "Sure, man." So we just worked it out, and we're gonna go out on the road and see what happens, man. I mean, you know, we're gonna go play some clubs and go have some fun and hang out with the boys. You know,
right.
It should be. I mean, it's gonna be great, man. They're a great fucking band. I mean, they're so fucking talented. Dave is such a great guitar player, and Opus is a killer drummer. The whole band is just phenomenal musicians. So, and we, you know, I decided for the first time, I actually spoke with Gary, and I'm gonna do a couple Exodus tunes.
Okay.
With the Generation Kill Boys, which I've never done before. I'm gonna do couple of the ones I wrote and maybe a couple classics, and every night it'll be a different song.
Okay.
So we're gonna play one song during our set and maybe two, and fucking who knows what's gonna happen, but we learned a couple, and I've never done it before, so we're gonna go out there and I went out to New York last week and rehearsed with the boys, and it sounds fucking killer. We're awesome. So it's all good, man. You know? Right
on. I'd imagine it's hard to wedge two of those songs in, just if for no other reason than they're all so long. You know, everything on those
take up half our fucking set. Yeah. So.
Nice. Well, dude, that sounds amazing, man. And obviously, this is definitely, if you're going to go to one of these, I don't like to give warnings, but I'll give a warning on this one. If you're going out to see you guys at Dead by Wednesday, do not go thinking that you're going to be sitting down watching this show. This is I'm assuming one big pit, room after room. No.
I mean, I would think so, but you know, I don't fucking know. I mean, I don't go to shows in pit anymore, man. I go to stand. I'm old, man. I stand in the back or I stand on top and watch, man. Fuck all that. I'm too old for that. But you know, it's just good. It's just good songs, man. They're just good. It's, you know, go and checking out good music, man. You know,
right on, dude. Well, dude. One quick question that has nothing to do with the tour, but it is a musical question. You obviously did the record with DMC a few years ago, the Fragile Mortals, and that was a really fun record. And I know personally, I would love to hear more of that. You know, kind of as a side thing. Is there any plans to do that, or would you even like to do that, or was that just really a one-off thing?
I mean, at the time. It was a one-off thing. I mean, I still talk with Daryl. I mean, I talked to Daryl, a couple weeks ago. We were just bullshitting, talking back and forth. I saw Daryl a couple months ago, and we hung out for a few hours. And at the time, it was just we did the one thing with him, and it was supposed to be one song, and it led to more songs, and
right.
It just became what it was. But it was a moment in time, man, where it's like, yeah, here we are all in the same place. Let's do this, and it worked out. If this situation arose again, of course I'd work with a. I mean, he's a legendary. Music guy, but I think it's run its course as far as like what we could do if we worked on something. I would definitely not say no, but I don't see it. I mean, we've done it already. Like there's really nothing left to be done. So
on, man. Well, Rob, obviously, man, a lot of good stuff going on with Generation Kill. The album is out there now, MKUltra, and the tour. When does the tour start?
July 31st.
Okay, so about a month. About a month to get yourself in pit gear, right?
Yeah.
Pit ready. Nice. So I'll tell you what, Rob, why don't we wrap this one up with a video from Generation Kill? Why don't we play Never Relent? Why don't you tell me a little bit about that one to wrap this one up?
Yeah, man. We Melody Myers directed this one and edited it and put it all together, and we had Gary Holt did the solo on it for us, and it opens the record. It's fucking vicious and mean, and it never relents, man. It lives up to the title, it's our opener. You know what I mean? So it's try to open up a set with that motherfucker, and then try to maintain after that. So that's how we come out of the gate. So
very good. Well, let's check it out right now. This is Never Relent, and want to thank you one more time, Rob Dukes, for joining me right here on Chris Akin Presents.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
I own your soul. With your life, you play what you owe. Nothing left. You're all spent. I keep taking Never Relent. One who breaks the ground, affects the curse of a paranoid mind, flame the skin.
Happy Hemp CBD gummies are a great way to get your daily dose of CBD in both a convenient and a discreet manner. They're available in peach rings, gummy cherries, sour gummy bears, rainbow ribbons. They've got all the flavors that you would ever want. They've even got sugar-free and vegetarian options for you. It's a great product. Get Happy Hemp is the product. Make sure you shop them today. Just go to the link in the scroll on the bottom and you can save yourself a little bit of money and get the CBD gummies that you need and deserve. Get them today.